Hello people of YouTube, welcome to another video lesson that we're doing. Today we're going to be looking at hitting the snare drum in a very particular kind of way. More specifically, we're going to be doing what drummers call rim shots or rimshotting. So I've got this exercise today. It's designed around hitting rim shots with consistency because they're kind of hard to do when you first start out. This exercise will also help you with some note placement or note awareness rather. So yeah, we'll get to the exercise in a minute. But so why rim shot? It's a particular way of hitting the snare drum. What it does, in my opinion, is adds a bit more power or a bit more attack to your overall snare drum sound. Sort of gives it a full-bodied, well-rounded sound, in my opinion. So what is rimshotting? So basically it's when you take your stick and you would play the snare drum as you normally would. You'd take the tip of the stick, you'd hit the center of the snare drum head, and you also take the middle of the stick and you're playing the metal rim around about here. And so you have 2 points of contact, and these 2 points of contact play the snare at exactly the same time. So like this. Okay, so you can see as well that this wears away at your drumsticks like crazy. It really chews away at it. So just as a word of caution, you'll be going through a lot of sticks if you start playing in the snare drum this way. It's why I don't really go to the movies, or I can't afford to buy a house or anything like that, but it's just part of the sacrifices you have to make. Anyway, let's get started on the exercise. So this exercise is basically designed around accenting a specific note, and then as the exercise progresses, you go further down the lines, the accent moves over. So you can see that the first line, you're accenting the first right. The second line, you're accenting the next note, the left. So it's got number 2 and so on and so forth. You can see how it goes. So this exercise is sort of similar to something out of Syncopation, a really good book. But it's just basically single stroke rolls divided into groups of 4. So if I was to count it out, I would think of this exercise like this. I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next line, you're accenting the next note over. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. One other thing to note that I haven't written down on the page is that I keep a bass drum going, a quarter note bass drum going. That just sort of grounds the exercise and it sort of keeps it all together. So like with anything, when you play this, start it slow. Really focus on how you're hitting the rim shot and making sure that it's on the right note. So the first line, just start it like this, really slowly. So I'm making sure that I'm rim shotting only that note. All the other notes are quiet. And you can take this line by line as well. So I find that the second line is kind of the weirdest one, hitting the second note in the stream of the single strokes. So again, take it really slowly, and you can just loop that line over and over again. So that one is. So do that with all the lines until you feel comfortable with them. You will find greater improvement, greater consistency when you've established yourself and then you start speeding it up. That'll really sort of test your control between going from rim shots and those quiet notes. So a good medium speed would be about. And it's probably around about here where you want to start going from line to line in one go, not stopping for each line. So. Okay, so you've gotten it to that medium speed and you're going from line to line now. So well done, that's pretty much the entire exercise. But like with everything, you want to expand on this information, don't just leave it there. So we're talking about hitting rim shots consistently and note awareness. So we're just hitting one note at the moment, but you could write out your own series of rights and lefts and try accenting 2 notes at a time or 3 notes at a time, or try accenting all the notes. So there's really kind of no limit with this stuff. I really recommend picking up Syncopation by Ted Reed. That's a really good book, and it has so many more examples than just this one. Yeah, if you had any questions about this stuff, or if there wasn't anything that I addressed that you're still not sure about, leave it in the comments. And also, chuck out any lesson ideas that you'd want to see, any problems that you might be having. I'd love to do a lesson on it. So thanks for that. I'll catch you next time.